All right, so first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media outside of Gillette Stadium as the Patriots get ready to take on the Las Vegas Raiders for Week 1 of the NFL regular season. A reminder, we are powered by Prize Picks and Game Time. And Taylor, the Patriots have captains. The 2025 Patriots captains announced today. They voted this morning. Mike Vrabel told the team at practice today, and then we found out shortly thereafter. Headlined by, of course, Drake Maye on offense, tight end Hunter Henry, defensively Marcus Jones, a first-time captain. Thought that was an interesting one. Linebackers Robert Spillane and Harold Landry, and then special teamer Brenden. It is those 6, 2 on offense, 3 on defense, a special teamer, and then we just found out a game captain as well for Week 1 will be Callahan. On that will rotate throughout the season. So, again, a couple first-timers, a couple veterans, but your thoughts on this captain group, any snubs in your opinion for the Patriots 2025 captains?
I was definitely surprised that there was no Morgan Moses. I kind of assumed that he would take that David Andrews role of being the elder statesman in the offensive line. We already know that he is, but I thought that would translate into a potential captainship. Stephon Diggs is someone we kind of kicked around, but given the pink substance issue, it's not a total surprise necessarily that he wasn't voted a captain. We also know it was a bit up and down this offseason in terms of his production with the team. Credit to Stephon Diggs still, though. Sure. He was well ahead of schedule, but it does make more sense to have Hunter Henry, a guy who was a captain, wasn't last season, I believe, until they started.
Yeah, they
guys went
had
down.
the attrition there. Yeah.
Exactly, but
there's about
Hunter
14
Henry,
Patriots captains at one point last year.
Even Kyle Tucker was a captain at one point last year. No offense to him, but we know he's a very quiet guy. Yep. So Drake Maye obviously makes sense his first season, but last season it was Jacoby Brissett because Jacoby started as their top quarterback. And then defensively, Robert Spillane, that one was pretty easy. Harold Landry, I think, is a name we kicked around because first signing, out-of-house free agent signing of the Mike Vrabel era, someone that we knew was going to be one of their leaders, tone setters, someone who just helped establish this culture. So while Harold Landry is not a rah-rah guy, that one does make a bit of sense. Really the biggest surprise, I think, for everybody was Marcus Jones. Now, this is a player who I admittedly thought might get phased out of this defense. Yep. He's smaller than the typical Mike Vrabel slot corner, as we mentioned when Alex Austin is bumped into that position. But to Marcus Jones' credit, he is one of the only cornerbacks, especially the guys who is expected to be a starter, who's been here consistently from the spring all the way throughout the summer. Mike Vrabel actually, I don't know if he knew this or let this slip, it was a Freudian thing or whatever, but he actually mentioned that Marcus Jones, he called him out for his leadership today while talking about the cornerback group. So it's clear that Marcus Jones, and kind of like similar to DeMario Douglas, some guys that you kind of don't think of as the biggest rah-rah guys are starting to step into some leadership roles. And for Marcus Jones, that translated into him being a captain. Obviously, the punt return ability. The guy's a former All-Pro, so it's not like it's coming out of nowhere, but it is very cool to see a player like Marcus Jones who, his role was a bit up in the air, at least on the outside earlier, now being someone that this team views as one of their leaders.
And let's actually listen to Jones, who said it. He admitted himself that he was surprised to be named a Patriots captain today.
Yeah, I definitely was. I'm always a person that leads by example type of thing, but being able to be a captain of this team it shows a lot.
And last but not least, Taylor, your thoughts on Brenden, the Patriots special teams captain, again in 2025.
This had to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, we knew when Matthew Slater retired and was talking about Brenden, it was like, oh, this guy's going to end up a captain at some point. Now, before it was Joe Cardona, which makes a ton of sense. Schooler specifically mentioned Matthew Slater and Joe Cardona being former captains that he was able to learn from. But we knew that Schooler was going to get voted a captain. He had his first All-Pro nod last season in 2024 and has only continued to scale the leadership ranks, especially for special teams, as the guy who really sets the tone for that unit. So, yeah, Schooler was another no-brainer there.
Those are the Patriots captains. Again, those 6. Oh, and then Callahan. Your thoughts on him quickly?
Oh, yeah.
Just getting the game captain nod. I thought that was pretty cool. Vrabel mentioned that it was not only a special teams vote, but also a defensive vote, obviously.
Yeah, so the video dropped right before we started actually recording this. But, yes, Callahan was named a game day captain, which also makes sense because we expected Mike Vrabel to have 7 captains. There's 2 on offense, 3 on defense, 1 on special teams. Now we know that 7th will be someone who is voted every week. Callahan, man, his arrow just keeps pointing up. This is someone who took a starting job from Keon White with his impressive performance the spring and the summer, and now it seems like he's doing it in all phases in terms of being a defensive and special teams player and contributing and showing his teammates that he's a guy who isn't fighting for a roster spot. He earned it,
100%.
And just very cool to see from someone who told us that he's looking for a home. He wants to be able to finally settle down somewhere. Hopefully that's in New England.
Exciting stuff down here in Foxboro as the Patriots name their 6 leaders, captains for the 2025 season. season. They will take on the Las Vegas Raiders right behind us here at Gillette Stadium on Sunday. So make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to Patriots Press Pass, where we have you covered every single day down here in Foxboro. Patriots Daily is powered by Game Time, the best place to get last-minute tickets to all of your favorite sporting events. And this coming Sunday, Patriots versus Raiders in Gillette Stadium. Behind us, $208 is the get-in price right now. That is the all-in price, one of the best features of the Game Time app. There are no fees included. You get your total up front with no surprises at checkout. So head over there right now, get into this Sunday's game, take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account, use code CLNS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.